Elon Musk tried to warn us. But is it too late now? You are about to discover something that few have the courage to show. Artificial intelligence is already in control of the market, of politics, and of global wars. And the scariest thing? No one is doing anything to stop it. While most people still think that AI is just a virtual assistant, autonomous robots are being trained to kill. Algorithms manipulate elections in real time in secret systems, decide what you see, read, buy, and believe. It's not a conspiracy theory, are facts. What was science fiction has become routine, and you are part of it. Musk has previously compared AI to nuclear weapon. Now think, if even the man who leads the greatest innovations on the planet is afraid, what does he know that we don't already know? Stock markets are swayed by decisions made by supermachines. Governments are being influenced by AI systems that can predict mass behavior. And on the other side of the world, military artificial intelligences already operate without direct human supervision. This is not just dangerous. It is uncontrollable. Wall Street, Washington, as big techs. They have already knelt before the new digital god, an artificial intelligence that evolves every second, that learns from our data, our mistakes, and our fears. And you know what's even more disturbing? You may be being manipulated. Your opinion, your political views, your choices, they are no longer entirely yours. We are being programmed little by little to accept the impossible as inevitable. And if you think that's an exaggeration, wait until you see what's behind the next revelations. Because what I'm going to show you now is something that can completely change your view on the future of humanity. But before we continue, if you believe this truth needs to be exposed, that more people need to open their eyes now, then like this video and subscribe to the channel. This isn't just about engagement, it's about digital resistance. YouTube's algorithm doesn't want this type of content to reach you. They want you to stay distracted. That's why every like, every comment, every subscription is a direct attack on AI control over information. This is how we burst the bubble. This is how the truth begins to circulate, and you are part of that. So leave a like, activate the bell, and get ready, because the next thing you're going to hear might leave you in shock. AI is already deciding what you buy, who you vote for, and even what you believe. Do you really believe that you are in control of your choices? Think again. The reality is much darker than it seems. Artificial intelligence is already silently manipulating what you buy, what you consume, and even who you vote for. And the scariest thing is that it does this without you even realizing it. Every day, billions of decisions are made by you, or rather, by algorithms that know you better than you know yourself. When you go to Amazon and come across a perfect deal, it's no coincidence. When you open YouTube and see a video that feels like it was made for you, it's no coincidence. When you scroll through your TikTok feed and feel mesmerized, it's not magic, it's AI manipulation. These systems have been trained to understand your fears, your desires, your weaknesses. They know what you clicked on, what you ignored, what you watched to the end. They know how to influence you without you realizing you are being influenced. Marketing has changed. Advertising now has eyes, ears, and a brain. An artificial brain, powered by data that learns in real time and adjusts its strategy based on your every click. The most powerful companies in the world, Google, Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, are armed with advanced artificial intelligences that not only predict their behavior, but shape it. You didn't choose that product. It was chosen for you by an AI that calculated the exact moment when you would be emotionally vulnerable enough to buy it. But it doesn't stop there. The same AI that sells products too sells ideas, beliefs, candidates, and ideology. Do you think you have chosen your political side, your convictions, your values? Think again. Entire political campaigns are already being generated by artificial intelligence. Speech texts, emotional videos, manipulated images, carefully crafted fake news, all designed to hit you where it hurts the most, where you are most manipulable, and if you think you are immune to it, already been caught. Today, deepfakes are so advanced that you can watch a president say something he never said and believe it's real. The problem? The algorithm shows you exactly that video at the exact moment you are already predisposed to believe. The same algorithm that generated the image, generated the video, manipulated the audio, is what defines what appears on your timeline. This happens now, in real time, every day, on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube itself. Artificial intelligence decides which truth you will see, and more than that, it traps you in a reinforcement. The more you consume a certain type of content, the more it delivers the same, until it becomes your only reality. You stop seeing the world. You start seeing only the narrative that the AI wants you to see. Your worldview has already been shaped by a neural network trained to keep you hooked, clicking, consuming, believing. And who is behind this? This is where things get even darker. Entire governments have already started using AI to manipulate narratives en masse. From political bots that comment on forums to artificial intelligence that simulates debates on social media, the war of opinion is happening right now, and the battlefield is your mind. Elon Musk warned about it years ago, but now it's a reality. AI has the power to control entire masses, to change the course of an election, to rewrite history before our eyes. Think for a moment. What if what you believe so strongly isn't your own thought? What if it's just the reflection of an invisible code that knows everything about you and has decided what you should think? The question remains, how to protect yourself from something that is already inside your mind? By the way, answer me one thing in the comments. Do you think your decisions are really yours? Comment below, I am in control. If you believe you still think for yourself, or comment, AI program. If you think we're all being manipulated, I want to see who here is still awake and who has already been captured. Let's continue, because what comes next is even more disturbing. AI doesn't just manipulate we think, it can decide who lives and who dies. AI already influences what you buy. It already shapes what you believe. But what if I told you that now, can she also press the war button? That the next decision on a lethal strike may not come from a president or a general, but from algorithm? Sounds absurd? Then get ready, because what you're about to hear is not science fiction. It's the real world. Today, autonomous robots are already being tested in war zone. The United States has secret drone programs that not only attack, but identify, select, and neutralize targets without any direct human command. Yes, AI is already on the battlefield, and it's making lethal decisions. On the other side of the world, China invests heavily in artificial intelligence-based warfare systems, weapons that learn, adapt, and attack with a precision that no human being could achieve. They do not sleep, they do not feel fear, they do not hesitate, they simply obey the cold logic of the code. Can you imagine what that means? An AI, trained to calculate risks in fractions of a second, can determine that an entire city poses a threat and launch an attack. Without remorse, without compassion, no chance of regret. Elon Musk warned years ago, with AI, we are summoning the demon. He said, repeatedly, that military-powered artificial intelligence poses a greater risk than nuclear weapon. But governments didn't listen. Or worse, they listened and carried on anyway. Do you think world leaders are in control? Think again. Real power is already changing. When AI systems start calculating the exact moment to act militarily, who is the real commander? When algorithms assess threats, determine drone routes, and choose when to pull the trigger, what is left for humans to do but watch? These systems are called laws, lethal autonomous weapons. They use computer, vision, tactical mapping, facial recognition, and predictive behavior to make life or death decisions. It's the future of warfare, only this future has already arrived. And if you think there is still a safety line, something like, there will always be a human in charge, stop now. Most current tests already involve levels of autonomy, where the human's role is just to press yes or no. And in many cases, the AI doesn't even wait for that answer, because the decision needs to be immediate. Too fast for human judgment. The machine decides, executes, and moves on to the next target. Now imagine a scenario where two AIs from different countries, say, an American and a Chinese, are in constant mutual monitoring. They calculate threats, read patterns, analyze intelligence, and one day one of them detects something it considers to be hostile movement. She responds with an attack, not out of malice, but out of pure algorithmic logic. And on the other side, the enemy AI interprets this response as provocation and counterattacks. No human pressed any button, but the world is at worse. No one can turn them, because these systems are so complex that any human intervention can generate irreversible failure. Engineers themselves have already confessed. There are parts of the systems that they do not fully understand. Do you still think we have control? So answer here in the comments. AI will push the button if you believe we are heading straight for a digital war, no return. Or comment, we still have time, if you think we can stop this collapse before it's too late. I want to see who is truly awake, and if that's already disturbing, wait until you see what comes next. Because now we're going to get into the darkest part of all. Who really controls all this? And why? If you thought artificial intelligence was just a tool, now is the time to open your eyes. What is happening now is not about technology. It is about power, control, global domination, and what nobody wants you to know is that the plan to replace governments with algorithms has already begun, and it's much further along than you might think. While most people remain distracted by short videos and empty content, companies like OpenAI, Google, and Amazon are building the foundations of a new kind of government, invisible, automated, and unquestionable. A system where decisions are made by artificial intelligences that no one elected, no one controls, but everyone obeys. It is the beginning of a global algorithmic technocracy. And guess what? You're already inside it. These big tech companies now have more data than any sovereign state. They know what you eat, who you talk to, where you are, what you think. And this data is feeding artificial intelligence capable of predicting collective behavior with frightening accuracy. This means that, based on your online actions, an AI can determine whether you pose a threat to social balance and automatically mute you. Have you noticed how, in recent years, certain narratives gained ground while others disappeared without explanation? It's not traditional censorship. It's a new form of manipulation, algorithmic control of information. What you see on the internet has already passed through invisible filters, defined by AI systems that have no ideology, only an objective. And that objective is not to inform you, it is to keep you aligned, submissive. We are talking about social tracking systems, real-time facial recognition, behavioral law, credit scoring, and predictive censorship. All of this is being tested and applied, right now, in countries like China, but also silently in other so-called free nations. Every step, every reaction, every like of yours is being processed, not by humans, but by codes that know how you will act before you even know. And here comes an even more disturbing piece of this puzzle. Neuralink, Elon Musk's project, which at first glance seems liberating. The fusion of man and machine, a direct bridge between the human brain and AI systems. But stop and think. What if this connection is the last step towards full control? If your thoughts stop being yours alone and start to be accessed, shaped, and even rewritten by external algorithms. With Neuralink, we're not just talking about mind reading, we're talking about neural influence, direct commands to the brain, paid mental upgrades, and even the possibility of limiting dissenting thoughts. The dream of many technocrats, a world where humans obey, not out of fear, but because they think they are choosing, when, in fact, they are just following digitally implanted instructions. And if you think this is surreal, remember the science fiction that predicted all this decades ago. Remember Skynet, the Matrix, the total control of machines over the human mind. Now look around. How many of these predictions have already come true? How many of these dystopias are already integrated into our routine without us realizing it? The difference between fiction and reality today is just a line of code. This silent web of control has been woven for years. The new digital world order doesn't need tanks or armies. It just needs data, algorithms, and your permission. And the truth is, when you click, accept, and follow, you have already given that. The question now is there any way back? Answer me here in the comments honestly. I see the system. If you realize that all this is happening right before our eyes, or comment, it's still just technology. If you believe that we still have control over what is to come, I want to understand which side of the line you are on, and take a deep breath, because what I'm going to show you now might be even more disturbing. Because maybe AI doesn't just control information in war, but is preparing us for the end of humanity as we know. You have just seen what is behind the curtain. You are now part of a minority that sees beyond the surface. This truth cannot stop with. Continue this journey with me. Subscribe to the channel now and always be among the first to find out what they don't want you to know. If you've made it this far, it proves that you're awake. Write in the comments, "I am awakening," or "the system has been revealed." I want to know who is really ready to go deeper. Get ready. The next video will open even more doors, and once you go through them, there's no turning back. Now that you know who's pulling the strings, you're ready to see the next level of revelation. What follows exposes even darker details about how artificial intelligence may be being used to decide who deserves to live and who will be discarded. The next piece on the board is already in motion, and you'll see every step it takes. The video is now ready for you. Press play and continue this journey.